Can you name a few successful crowdfunding campaigns? Probably some, but now ask yourself, how many of the products turned out to be horrendous after the campaign, and how many of the supporting brands are still around today? Exactly. Hey, what's up? I'm Brian with EBO Gadgets, and this is the truth about crowdfunding. This video is not going to be about the bad ideas that made it onto Kickstarter or Indiegogo, but were never funded. But it's rather going to be about the brands and products behind the very successful campaigns and what happened to them and why. Because just because a product is funded on Kickstarter, it doesn't necessarily mean that it will turn out great or become a reality in the first place. You can type successful Kickstarter campaigns in Google right now and tick off the ones that aren't a reality today anymore. Almost nothing left? Interesting, right? So let's investigate a little. In my opinion, there are three main types and causes of crowdfunding failures. The failure to bring the product to market in the first place because of bad business decisions, the product being not what people expected and actually mostly terrible, or the company not having a way to sustain their business after the campaigns, even though the products themselves are quite alright. Most crowdfunded companies and products have failed at one of these points. Some at the sooner ones, some later. Let's start by taking a look at some of said crowdfunding campaigns. The first possible point of failure is establishing the making and shipping of the product. Some don't even manage to establish manufacturing in the first place, with some giving the money back to backers and some just keeping it, while others actually eventually come to the point where they can ship the product. The Coolest Cooler was one of the most successful projects of all time, but it took them ages to actually ship the thing and then upset tons of backers with more and more questionable decisions like charging money for sooner delivery. And honestly, while at the time of the campaign everybody was writing about it as a great idea, everything you will find when you Google it now is what went wrong. But there are still products that have made it past the point that these companies have, like Ouya or the Pono Player. These campaigns mostly went without any hiccups, but the products that resulted from them weren't as great as some might have hoped. This could either be because of marketing that promised too much, or because they couldn't achieve everything they wanted. It was probably both, because people were expecting too much and the companies couldn't deliver. But in both cases, it led to the product being largely forgotten up to this point. The Ouya was a great idea when you read about it on the Kickstarter page, for example, but soon after the launch, it was clear that that idea, no matter how you look at it, couldn't succeed in the real world as a product that people would actually want to buy. Now you might say, well, those are great examples for products that went up in smoke because of the bad business decisions after the campaign and the bad products that resulted from that, but that there are still companies who manage to do great after their campaign and deliver products that get raving reviews. So what's up with that? I'm going to outline this on the examples of Nextbit and Pebble. They did really great for a while. With a good product in their hands, the reviews and the perception of the companies was great, and everybody thought that they were doing great. But then they came in trouble and were bought out by bigger corporations. The problem lies again in the people who support crowdfunding campaigns. It's us geeks who are even interested enough in the industry and a new cool product, and are thus willing to support a company that hasn't even proven to us yet if they can actually bring anything to market. But we are known for not being happy with a product if it wasn't all that we were promised. That makes it very hard for companies to succeed with a first-time product through a Kickstarter campaign. First-time products have a very hard time being perfect. That's why they're first-time attempts. But that's also why crowdfunding can be an opportunity, but also a very effective trap. You're a small company trying to build your first product, and because you have no capital or no real expertise in place yet, you do a Kickstarter or Indiegogo campaign. But by that, you're demanding money from people who wish to take a risk, but want to see only the best possible from you if your product ever comes to be. But that's the trap. You basically can't deliver what they expect from you. That's why you're turning to crowdfunding. If you already had an established business that was capable of delivering a perfect product, you wouldn't need crowdfunding. And these needed perfections also take more time than the companies have initially expected. Both of these things result from lack of experience. This is also a dilemma because now the company has to choose between bad press for not delivering the product on time and bad press for having the product not perfect. See why these two things happen so often in crowdfunding? Now there are still the two companies from before who arguably actually succeeded in building a product with only forgivable mistakes. But what turned out to be the problem for Nextbit and Pebble was that they were trying to build a product that was perfect for the audience that they were demanding money from, but that audience is not proving to be a great customer after the fact. If you would want to learn more about this, what I would suggest to you is to check out Tech Altar's video on how enthusiast brands will betray you, where he explained very well why these two companies vanished. Lastly, I want to address that people just don't think enough before wanting to bring a product to market or also backing a campaign for said product. The idea for this video came to me when I was reading about an iPhone case with a full Android phone baked into it for just $100. The idea itself seemed pretty cool, but are you really going to use something like that? It's basically two separate phones that you carry because they don't share any data. Would you really use both if your messages are just on one? And at that point, couldn't you just carry two phones in the first place? Something tells me that this company would have been better off releasing an amazing standalone Android phone for the same price than releasing this case. So we've taken apart quite some stuff in this episode. But is there really no hope left for these crowdfunding campaigns? Well, I wouldn't see it that pessimistic. Even though the impact that projects like Nextbit and Pebble had on the market is arguably over, it probably still was a positive one. Nextbit was yet another brand pushing forward the affordable smartphone revolution, even though I said last week that revolution is also kind of falling flat lately. And Pebble made a good impact on the smartwatch market. And the people that bought these products will probably also still tell you that it wasn't a bad purchase decision. But what do you think? Do you back Kickstarter campaigns, or did you in the past? How has it turned out for you, and do you also feel that they don't turn out that great most of the time? Let me know down in the comments below, or tweet it at me. And as always, if you liked the video, press the like button and get subscribed to the channel for a new episode in this series every Sunday. You should also check out the previous episodes, click follow on Instagram and Twitter because I post a lot of cool stuff there, and check out the website for the written version of this and other interesting articles. But with that, I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!